Not much to say. I liked the deck, and given that this was my first outing with it and my first list without really playing any games, I'm pretty impressed. I think I did a pretty good job with, the number of threats, what type of threats, how many land, the cantrips, the removal suite, the disruption slash counterspell stuff. Like, I think I did a pretty good job. Honestly, like, there's not a lot that I would really consider changing from this deck. One thing to note is that we don't have Ancient Grudge, so we are much weaker to Affinity, and also just much weaker against things like Chalice of the Void in general, so it's possible that something like a third Kolaghan's Command might want to make their way into the sideboard. One of the Brutalities could go, because we have Stubborn Denial to help against Burn, so I don't think you necessarily need the third Brutality. Also, the K-Return could potentially go. I mean, it is a nice hedge against a lot of decks in the field, and if we're talking about being weak against Affinity, like, that is definitely one of the cards you want there. But yeah, K-Return, just having, like, another artifact removal spell would be pretty nice, so I would be down with adding that. Other than that, though, like, this deck seems sweet. Like, it's not as consistently putting pressure on your opponent, but the fact that you have access to a bunch of Snapcaster Mages means that, you just get to grind a little bit better than anything else, and I guess maybe what this will come down to is how the head-to-head is, like Grixis v. Jund, and just kind of seeing how that matchup plays out. Like, if Grixis is a huge favorite there, which I doubt, I bet the matchup is pretty close, but if Grixis is a huge favorite, then I would be leaning towards this, honestly. So, I could try out some Mistress Bauble somewhere, but realistically, I like this deck. I mean, would probably change, like, 2 cards, if that. So, if y'all try this out, let me know how it goes. I'd be interested to hear thoughts, opinions, suggestions for changes, all that fun stuff. I like having an open discussion in my forums. I generally try and respond, especially if the questions are reasonable and not like, something that demonstrates that you very clearly did not consume the content or whatever. But if you did consume the content, you have questions, you want to have a discussion, by all means, hit me up in the comments. And as always, thank you for watching. Maybe slightly less Death Shadow content in the future. We'll see. Definitely kind of chilling on the articles right now. Probably going to explore other modern stuff. But this deck is for real. These sorts of shells, they're definitely very good. I think there are a lot of different variations that you could potentially work on. So get to it. Have fun. Death Shadow is great.